UFC 314 is just 2 days away, and I'll be giving you guys my breakdown and analogy of each and every fight. If you guys like this type of content, please make sure to click that subscribe button, like the video, comment your favorite prediction from this video, and let's just get started with it. Volkanovski versus Lopes. Amazing card. Rate this card around 8 out of 10. Some fights fell out, but that is still okay. Let's start off with the first fight on the card. This is a begging card. Nora Cornell versus Haley Quanon. I'm going to go with Nora Cornell, Just a marauder, dude. These women are both coming off of losses, but Nora has the better record. Both similar records, but Nora has the more esteemed record, and she's also ranked. Sorry. Well, yeah, I think Nora's gonna get this done by decision. Crazy fight. I broke down this fight on my boxing channel, so just go to my boxing channel. You can probably find this prediction. It's like 2 hours long. Really get in the weeds of this. But yeah, Trishan Gore versus Mario Tulio. I'm gonna go with Mario Tulio actually, because Mario Tulio has really good striking actually. He's a really good striker. I know Trishan Gore has a lot of power, but I'm still gonna go with Marco Tulio because he has really good striking, amazing jab, good 1-2s. Trishan Gore, haven't really seen much of him, but he's coming off a win, so that is good. But I think Marcio Tulio will get it done by a decision. Trishan Gore has a chin on him, so yeah. Quick predictions, quick. Sumar Dari versus Mitch Raparso. Sumar Dari, is that just one name? Is that just his one name, Sumar Dari? Oh my god, I am butchering these names. I'm gonna go with Sumdararji though. He looks like the more experienced guy. Yeah, his record isn't that isn't that good, but he has a really good reach advantage over almost a 10-inch reach advantage. It's around 8-inch reach advantage. So I do think he will be able to keep Mitch on the outside, who is coming off a loss. So maybe his hunger is gonna help him win. But I think Sumdararji is gonna get his win by decision. Just looks like the more technical fighter. Yeah, Mitch has some power and some quick footwork, but Sumar Dari is probably gonna get this one by decision. Good reach, way taller. So yeah, I want to go with him. 72-8 reach advantage in the flyweight division is actually kind of wild. And the early prelim main event, it is Cedric Dumas versus Marcel Olejniczak. I'm gonna go with Marcel Olejniczak. Olejniczak. Yeah, I'm gonna go with him. He has a lighter man skill. The heavier man skill. This guy usually fights in light heavyweight. Beat Killer Roundtree in the light heavyweight division. Also, had a really close fight with Shara Bullet. Was outstriking Shara on some occasions. Definitely had the power advantage in that Shara fight. But he last lost to Kevin Holland in their fight. Getting submitted. But Cedric Dumas, you can never count out Cedric. He is kind of like a goofy fighter, but I think Marcel is just he's one of those fighters that, people that have beaten him like Michel Pereira, those guys are really fast. Cedric Dumas is kind of sloppy and kind of, droopy on the feet, He just has that blob style. Yeah, he has the reach advantage, but I still think Marcel Olejniczak will win this fight. Michelle's been into Miami, so he's definitely gonna have the crowd advantage. So I'm not saying that's gonna be an advantage in the ring, but I think Michelle Olejniczak is actually gonna win this fight by a round 2 TKO. Michelle has a lot of power, good boxing. Cedric Dumas is kind of a sloppy Bobby boxer, But yeah, then we start off with the early prelims. Darren Elkins versus Julia Rosa. I'm gonna go with Darren Elkins to win this fight. Actually, no. What am I thinking? This guy is he's like 40. Julia Rosa is definitely gonna win this fight. Derek Elkins the damage. Um, he's Derek Elkins is one of those fighters from back then, you know, from the 90s. And Julia Rosa, yeah, they both have pretty similar records, but I think Julia Rosa is definitely, he's more younger, you know, more green in the UFC. Darren Elkins was never really that good, kind of known for his tattoo the damage, Darren Elkins, but I just don't see Darren Elkins win this fight. I'm gonna go with the round 1 KO from Julia Rosa. But yeah, crazy fight. Jim Miller versus Chase Hooper. I see a lot of people picking Jim Miller to win this fight. I'm gonna go with Chase Hooper to win this by round 1 submission. And you guys might be asking, how the hell is Jim Miller gonna get submitted by a guy named Chase Hooper who hasn't really submitted anyone that's top notoriety? You know, he lost to Steve Garcia, got sent packing to the lightweight division, but ever since then he's just been looking like the Charles Oliveira of lightweight. He's looking like a Charles Oliveira 2.0. Swear to God. Jim Miller, yeah, he got that guillotine choke over, I think it was Billy Quarantino. Was it? Was it Billy Quarantino? I don't know. It was someone. Who did he submit? Dude, I'm not gonna do that Lucas Tracy thing where he forgets his fighters and just, you know, he just waits like 10 minutes just trying to figure out their name. But Chase Hooper has really slick submission skills. Jim Miller is kind of like kind of an old man. He still has the power. 41. He wants to get 50 wins. I think that did he want to get 40 or 50? I don't think he can get 50 wins, to be honest. 50 wins sounds kind of crazy, dude. But yeah, Chase Hooper's actually gonna beat him up. And yeah, I'm gonna go with Chase Hooper by round 1 triangle choke. Yeah, I think Jim was gonna try and take him down, and Chase Hooper is gonna latch up a triangle on the ground. Yao Zhao now versus Vernia Jaraboha. I'm gonna go with Vernia Jaraboha. I'm like butchering these girls' names. I don't give a fuck who wins this fight. How about that, guys? How about that? She's gonna win by decision, dude. She's gonna win by decision. I don't care. Dan Ige versus Sean Woodson. Now, I've been seeing all around MMA YouTube, everyone thinks Dan Ige is gonna win. I think Sean Woodson's gonna win, and I think he's gonna win by decision. Yeah, Dan Ige lost twice. Once to Diego Lopes and once to Euro Murphy, who are, you know, the best prospects, one of the best prospects in that division, the featherweight division. But I think Sean Woodson, with his slick striking and his 70 reach advantage, I think he'll be able to put Dan Ige on the outside. Dan Ige lost a lot of times to these long range strikers. Lost to Bryce Mitchell. You know, someone who's pretty long is Diego Lopes. But Sean Woodson, yeah, he does have like an alien-like build with his super long legs, and you probably think Dan Ige can take this guy down, but no one's been able to take this guy down in the UFC. That's worth notoriety, that's worth mentioning. But Sean Woodson does have that slick striking, 1-2s, jabs, and yeah, he's lost before, but Dan Ige has lost 9 times, so he's not shy of losing. I think Sean Woodson's going to win this fight by a round 2 TKO. I think he's going to catch him with a 1-2, stun Dan Ige, and he's going to finish him. Dan Ige's taking so much damage. This pick could actually backfire, and Dan Ige might knock Sean Woodson out, but that's a pick I'm willing to make. I think Sean Woodson is he's pretty damn good. He's pretty damn good, and I'm ready to bet on it. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Sean Woodson by round 2 TKO. Crazy pick, but yeah. Nikita Krylov versus Dominic Reyes. The amount of people. This is like the Sean Woodson fight. The amount of people that are picking Nikita Krylov to knock out Dominic Reyes, Lucas Tracy, I'm looking at you, is insane. I'm picking Dominic Reyes to win this by decision. a masterclass. Actually, I think he's gonna do the 1-2, the jabs, or he's gonna hit from. Yes, people have been mentioning the basic striking of Dominic Reyes, but those basic striking beat the freaking GOAT John Jones. So, you know, he's in this bitch for real. But Dominic Reyes has really good 1-2s, really good jabs. Nikita Krylov, we haven't seen this guy in 2 years. His last win was Brian Spann. So this is the bet I'm willing to take. I think Dominic Reyes is just gonna show Nikita Krylov what he's been missing, and Dominic Reyes' career has revived basically. And if he beats him, he'll be in the top 10. Title run basically. It'll be basically a title run again, you know. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Nikita. I'm gonna go with Dominic Reyes doing this by a decision. We got Bryce Mitchell and Gene Silva. They're not the feature fight? That's kind of crazy. Wait, hold on. They're not the feature fight? Why would they do that? Are you serious? They didn't make that the feature fight? I didn't even know. Hopefully that's a mistake and they actually do make that the feature fight, because that's some bullshit. Okay, you guys deserve to be in the feature fight. But let's talk about this fight. I'm going with Gene Silva to win this by round 1 TKO. Bryce Mitchell's been KO'd before. Gene Silva has amazing takedown defense. But yeah, you can say you haven't been taken down by a guy like Bryce Mitchell. Well, he's been taken down by a guy like, who did he fight? Someone tried to take him down, but they took him down for like 2 seconds and he stood up. Gene Silva has power, takedown defense, and this is literally a nightmare matchup for a guy like Bryce Mitchell, who struggles with a guy with a lot of power, like Ilia Topuria, like a guy like Josh Emmett. So I'm gonna go with a round 1 KO by Gene Silva. I just think he is gonna catch Bryce Mitchell, who has been caught before a guy like Ilia Topuria. You know, he's been caught by guys like Ilia Topuria, who has a lot of power. You know, Gene Silva has kind of the same build, not the same style necessarily. You know, Gene Silva has that Conor McGregor kind of style, and I think this guy is gonna catch him. I think Gene Silva is gonna catch Bryce Mitchell, and it's gonna be a viral KO, and he's gonna go on the mic and he's gonna start barking and shit. So, yeah, Yair Rodriguez versus Pitbull. Who the fuck said Pitbull? I'm gonna bang my table. Who the fuck said Patricio Pitbull is a good fighter? Yeah, he knocked out Michael Chandler though. No. Michael Chandler and Yair Rodriguez are literally like night and day. Yair is gonna smoke this guy and roll him in a blunt, and he's gonna smoke him. I'm gonna go with the round 2 submission from Yair Rodriguez. I think Patricio's gonna take him down. You know, Yair hasn't. You know, I can take down Yair, but Yair, you know, he's not someone who's hard to take down. Patricio Pitbull, yeah, you have insane power, but dude, like, who the frick are you knocking out, dude? You're not knocking out anyone notable. Yair has amazing kicks, and he could probably knock out Patricio. I'm gonna go with submission. I'm saying the safe route. I think Patricio still has his chin. Now people are mentioning the Bellator curse. Yeah, Yair is, you know, he's been cracked before by a guy like Volkanovski. But that's after Volkanovski literally tired him out for 3 rounds. Yeah, people like Volkanovski and Max Holloway shooting takedowns on this guy because this guy's an amazing striker. Patricio Pitbull, even if he takes him down, he's really good off his back. So I'm gonna go with a round 2 submission from Yair Rodriguez. I think Yair is gonna roll him up like a joint and smoke him. So yeah, Michael Chandler versus Paddy Pimblett. Okay, I was checking the ranks. I'm gonna go with Michael Chandler to win this by a round 2 KO. Oh no! I'm gonna say round 3 KO. I'm gonna pick Michael Chandler to win this by a crazy round 3 KO. I think he's gonna be dropped in this fight, but he's just gonna come back and he's gonna knock out Paddy Pimblett. Yeah, it's not the most technical pick, but when you're talking about Michael Chandler, nothing about Michael Chandler is technical. Yeah, Paddy Pimblett has decent striking, but when you're with Michael Chandler, you have to be a high-level striker to beat Michael Chandler, Justin Gaethje, Charles Oliveira. You know, those guys are high strikers. Dustin Poirier, high-level strikers. Paddy's not even 1% of Charles Oliveira. Yeah, he has good submissions, but he literally got he submitted a guy like Bobby Green, who literally just threw himself in that submission. I don't think Paddy's gonna, get the same treatment like a Bobby Green, where Bobby Green just gonna throw himself. Michael Chandler's a little bit smarter than that. I would assume. Paddy doesn't have good striking, doesn't have good power. You knocked down Tony Ferguson. Good job for you. You couldn't even finish him. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Michael Chandler to win this by a round 3 KO. I think he's gonna drop Paddy, who has been dropped before, and I think he's gonna just hit him on the fence, back of the head shots, you know what I'm saying? Back of the head shots, and I think the ref is gonna be controversial. That's all I know. But yeah, the main event of the evening: Alexander Volkanovski versus Diego Lopes. For Volk fans like me, this is a really scary fight because Diego Lopes might be the most dangerous striker in the first round. He might be the most dangerous striker in the first round. His uppercuts, his 1-2s, his overhand. Diego Lopes is a beast when it comes to the first round. Do I think Alexander Volkanovski is that dumb to wanting to strike with a guy like Diego Lopes in the first round? I think Volkanovski is way smarter than that. Way smarter than that. Volkanovski's gonna win this fight. I'm picking Volkanovski to win this by a round 3 TKO. No. Round 4 TKO. You got a guy like Brian Ortega who's outstriking Diego Lopes in their fight. You have a guy like Dan Ige who won the 3rd round of Diego Lopes versus Dan Ige in UFC 303. So, do I think Volkanovski can take down Diego Lopes? Yeah, he can. And once he takes him down, Alexander Volkanovski is a pain in the ass to get off because he has really good control. Diego Lopes gets tired way too quick, unless he works in the gas tank, which, you can work on the gas tank. When you're in front of a guy like Volkanovski who's beating the shit out of you on the ground, like he did to Islam, like he did to Yair Rodriguez, like he did to Brian Ortega, damn near 10-8'd him in like 3 rounds. So, yeah, I think Volkanovski's literally gonna finish Diego Lopes. Yeah, if Diego Lopes can uppercut Volkanovski, but I think Volkanovski's gonna play it safe. And Diego Lopes is gonna get beat. I just know it. There's no way Volkanovski's winning this fight. If he wins this fight, if Diego Lopes wins this fight, I will shave my head on stream. I will do that. If this video actually gets 10, I'm not gonna say 100. No, fuck. If this video gets 100 likes, if Diego Lopes wins, I will shave my head on stream and I'll put that on God. But this video has to get 100 likes. So, like the video. Like the damn video, okay? But that is my prediction video, guys. I'm picking Volkanovski to win this by a 4th round TKO on the ground. Similar to his Yair fight. I think it's going to be very similar to his Yair fight. But that was my predictions. Like I said, like the video, subscribe, comment down your favorite prediction on this video, or what's a prediction you guys are really confident, or who is your favorite fighter you want to see win on this card. Yeah. I know I haven't uploaded in like 2 weeks. I streamed twice, then I kind of just fell off a little bit. Work's been a pain in the ass. So kind of tired, of doing work. I know there's been a crazy announcements like Sean O'Malley and Marab. I will be talking about that in my next video after the recap. But yeah, I will be talking about that. Not after the recap. I'll do that tomorrow actually.